I have this 50 before 50 list in my life that I'm trying to do. And one of the items on here is really like, what would that be? I think it's like 10 items. I want to check out the certain paleontology sites in the US. So I have the Cleveland Lloyd Quarry, La Brea Tar Pits, Dinosaur Valley State Park in Glen Rose, Texas, Nash Dinosaur Track Site in South Hadley, Massachusetts, Petrified Forest, Arizona, Fossil Butte Monument, Wyoming, Dinosaur Ridge, Morrison. I've been to that one. Dinosaur State Park, awesome. Rocky Hill, Connecticut, and then Dinosaur National Monument in Utah. I've been to. Anything else I should add to that list?
Yeah, Ashfall fossil beds in Nebraska. What happened was Yellowstone supervolcano erupted and it blanketed all of the West in ash. So you have perfectly preserved rhinos, subparachodons, that died and got articulated, that preserved so perfectly articulated that you have a mother rhino skeleton, like from beautifully preserved, like no disruption in the skeleton at all. Looks like you would have just peeled the meat off the animal. And then inside the womb, you have another baby preserved rhino inside.
Wow.
That's how good Ashfall fossil beds is. People are sleeping on how cool that site is in Nebraska. That site's awesome. Mammoth site in South Dakota, Hot Springs, that's a must.
I've been to that one. Yeah, I've been to that one. That one's Mammoth great. Oh, yes.
Mammoth site's dope. Clayton Dinosaur Tracks in New Mexico. I would recommend those. Let's see, for fossils. And the Waco Mammoth site in Texas. That's another big one. And if you're ever in Tennessee, there's a site in East Tennessee, the Gray fossil beds, where they find, American red pandas and all sorts of crazy fossils that would blow your mind. They find millions of rodent fossils in this little area. Like, they're only able to excavate like 2 square feet every summer. They find so many like exquisitely preserved fossils. And that's the Gray fossil bed site in Tennessee. There's tons though. I mean, there's tons even in the East Coast. Like people don't even understand. Like, I would recommend going Eurypterid hunting in, Chicago, not Chicago, in New York sometime, or going fossil hunting into Cleveland Shale. That's not too far from you. You can find Dunkleostenes, or you can go to some of the shales around Chicago and find Tully monsters and crazy
Tully monsters,
fossils that you can't even, that look like something out of a Rick and Morty episode.
Explain the Tully monster, the story behind that.
I can't. I'm a vertebrate paleontologist. Not too much about the Tully monster, except that it's extraordinarily weird.
It's the state fossil of Illinois.
It's a pretty dope fossil.
You've been to Dinosaur National Monument?
I have been. When I was like 8 years old, I went there.
That place is so cool.
Oh, it's amazing. They have an articulated sauropod neck. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. I love Dinosaur National Monument.
Do you have oh, go ahead.
What were you saying?
Do you have a favorite fossil site?
Oh, man, that's really a tough one. God. Favorite place I really like working in Faith, South Dakota, up in Hell Creek, just because every 10 minutes you'll find a T-Rex tooth. That's pretty awesome. But favorite place to just kind of like excavate, probably where I cut my teeth on paleontology at the Wyoming Dinosaur Center. So if you ever end up going there, you can actually go and dig up long neck dinosaurs as a visitor. Wow. So I would recommend that museum. That's my favorite. They have the FS quarry, which stands for foot site, because they found a perfectly articulated Camarasaurus foot preserved in the ground. Amazing.
Really?
Oh yeah, they have Allosaurus fragilis bones. That was the first dinosaur I ever worked on. They have Camarasaurus bones. They have Apatosaurus bones. All sorts of long necks. They have people from all over the world who go there and dig. I mean, when I was an intern, I once led a tour with a family from Milan. I led it completely over Google Translate, and I taught kids how to dig up dinosaurs and look for fossils without even speaking Italian. So that place is just awesome.
Wow.
Like, the beauty of the fossils speak for themselves. So if also that town has naturally occurring hot springs, and the biggest hot springs on Earth, and it's about an hour outside of Yellowstone. So if you haven't been there, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Wow. So many places in America to go find fossils and be interested in science.
Oh, and that's just America. That's not even counting Lyme Regis and the U.S. Not the U.S. in the U.K. or like the Solenhofen quarry in Germany, or some of the fossils they're finding in the Zhejiang province in China. Some of the beautiful feather preservation, the Karoo Basin in South Africa, or Patagonia or Madagascar. Like all over the world, paleontology is still growing, and ours is developed here, but paleontologists, I think, in the US have to branch out to other countries to help them develop theirs, because in places like Madagascar, they're seeing their first generation of paleontologists ever.
Oh, wow.
Park. You're seeing this in China, you're seeing this in Japan. They're like 10 years ago, there wasn't a single person who knew how to work on fossils in Japan. Now they have a dinosaur museum. Like, China is opening up billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of massive museums that make the American museum look like a shoebox.
Wow.
Yeah, you're seeing other countries like, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan starting to invest in natural history. The United Arab Emirates is starting to invest in their natural history. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, we're going to see a real renaissance of people all over the globe studying this science. It's really the responsibility of Western researchers to help bring these people, into the same level as our current stratified science is. It's up to us to share our knowledge to, help build up these other communities to have more pride in their own cumulative natural history.
Because the more people we have working in the field and in their areas, the more we all learn together.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah, the fossils belong to all of humanity. Yeah. Like, paleontology belongs to all of humanity. It's how we unite ourselves as a culture. They published a study in 2016 where they went over Democrats and Republicans right during the election. They went over everybody and they tried to see just what people could agree on. Love dinosaurs was pretty much the only thing that you could agree on either way. Like, and for me, when I see that, I see, a great chance to unite people under a common banner of curiosity. And, I think that extends to every language and every culture and every religion. I think you can be whoever you are and still, it's up to us as scientists to ignite your curiosity.